What's good, family? Today, I'm going to teach you about sexual selecting success. Sexual selection success. I'm going to teach you how to select or help you select better, and also give you some information on how you can get even more information on how to select sexually better and make your life a little better. So if you give me a few minutes of your time, I'm probably gonna make this a 3-part series. It's gonna be a little course I'm gonna teach, and if you want more information, obviously I will be able to give you some more information or some one-on-one teaching if you get in touch with me to do so. But this is just a course that I put together. It's free. I'm gonna put it up. I think it's so long. It's about 2 or 3 hours. It's about 2.5 hours long. So I had to chop it up a little bit. But hey, it's free. You can take it and use it and try to get as much out of it as you can. You know what I mean? If you need more help, there is more information available. But I would not sleep with another person before I saw this information I'm about to give you right quick. All right. So everybody enjoy the class I put together for you. It's really for these younger guys, but it's really for anybody that's out here having premarital sex. You need to at least check this stuff out and check out what I'm saying to you and see if you can benefit out of it. All right, peace, y'all. All right. Thank you for coming, and thank you for checking out my video. This is a video about how to select better, having sexual selection success, and basically it's a short little video. I'm not going to try to make it I'm going to try to not make it too long. It's only a couple of slides, but try to give you some idea how to select better to help you, give you some pointers. And if you need more help, I have even access to more help if you need more help about how to select better so that you don't throw your whole life away. All right. So title of the course is it's a quick course, Sexual Selection Success, produced by Global Vision Media Productions LLC, instructed by Clarence. That's me. Well, what are your qualifications? What qualifies you to be able to talk about sexual selection? Because I've been there. I know what it is. I've got so much experience in sex, in selection, in messing up. I got so much in doing good. I got a lot of success in doing good. So you should take some information from me and learn from me. You know what I mean? I'm not perfect, but I have had some experiences that can help you, and a wise person doesn't need to experience other people's mistakes to learn from them. So use wisdom, and learn from a dummy like me, right? And others, people that I've taken their stories and used them to try to put together something to help you not get caught up out here, because it's easy to get caught up out here, right? All right, so let's begin. Sexual selection success. What is the purpose of sexually selecting with a purpose? Why should we select with a purpose? The purpose of sexually selecting and being successful with it is to fulfill our sexual desires while maintaining maximum control of our lives. See, the thing is, if you select poorly, that can have a very traumatic impact on your whole life and put the trajectory of your life in a whole nother way and direction. That's not good for you. That's not best for you. And so that's why we have to know what we're doing when we're selecting sexually, right? Men and women, by the way. But this particular class is for men, but I will make another one for women as well. Sexual selection success. Why do people select poorly? Okay. Now, we can either select properly or we can select poorly. What are some reasons why people select poorly? That's not the total list, but there's some reasons why people select poorly. Beauty. Get caught up on the beauty appearance, right? See a girl, she look good. You say, man, she look good. I want to take her down, right? But if you take a more thorough investigation of her and her lifestyle, you can see it might be a little dangerous for you. She might be dangerous for you. She might have some type of personality defects that could affect you in your life, and then you're gonna pay for it later, right? I.e., if you got a lot of resources or access to a lot of resources, she might try to put you in a trick or make you get pregnant or any number of different things that some of these crazy women might do to try to get you to ultimately so that she can live a lifestyle of luxury and comfort off the back of you, right? What's another one? Attraction hooks. Some of us got attraction hooks. Some of us like things about a woman, certain things about a woman. Some of us like light skin. Some of us like light eyes. Some of us like dark skin. Some of us like long hair. Some of us like short hair. Some of us like long nails. Some of us like short nails. Some of us like long eyelashes. Some of us like short eyelashes. Some of us like big butts. Some of us like small butts. Some of us like big breasts. Some of us like small breasts. Some of us like big legs. Some of us like small legs. Right? Whatever your hook is, whatever the hook is that you are really attracted to, sometimes when we get that hook in our mouth, we can overlook other red flags that might be showing us and telling us that this may not be the person for us to engage in sex with. We might could laugh and joke with them, but they may not be the person we should engage in sexual behavior with, right? But see, we overlook that. Why? Because of the sex. Because of the attraction hooks. And attraction hooks are keys that allow a woman to bump up the sexual tension. When you start asking questions about different things, a lot of women will bump up the sexual tension. They know you're attracted to whatever it is you're attracted to. They'll start giving you the feeling that you got more access than you actually have to the hook that you attracted to about her physically. I know, man, this is a lot to say, but I'm gonna try to get it to you so you can learn something real quick. Talents. You know, maybe this girl is very talented in certain sexual behaviors, right? And you just be like, man, I cannot afford to watch this type of talent walk out of my office, right? Walk away from me. But sometimes that's best, because sometimes they have talent like that, and the reason why they have such a good talent is because they are a person, what they call from the streets, where they enjoy using that talent to manipulate men and put them in positions where they're able to be easily manipulated out of goods and services and resources, right? You don't want to be with a person like that, but these are some reasons why we select poorly, right? We don't look past of the beauty appearance, the attraction hooks, the talents that she might have sexually, right? And of course, the sexual tension, right? What is the sexual tension? The sexual tension is when you're conversating with a woman and you're not actually having sex with her, but there's always going to be some sexual tension there. But she can, when you start asking questions, she can increase the sexual tension. Now, the purpose of increasing the sexual tension is to throw you off of the red flags that are out there, that she knows is out there. But to throw you off of that, she'll increase the sexual tension. And so what she'll do is start talking about sex more. She'll talk about the things that you say you like about having sex. She'll start alluding to that, you have closer access to sex than you might actually have. You know what I mean? But all of it is just a game to manipulate you into providing more resources. It's the carrot on the string, it's the cheese on the string to get you to keep running and running and running and running and running. And sometimes a woman can mean that, and sometimes a woman can't. So that depends on you. You gotta have your eyes open to be able to see what's actually going on, right? All right, so these are some reasons why people select poorly. And selecting poorly, we already covered that. Not already covered it, but we kind of talked about a little bit. When you sexually select poorly, it puts you in a position where you're at the whim of the other person. You're basically at their whim, right? Sexually selecting poorly, right? You can put yourself in a position where you basically putting your life into this person's hands, and you don't know what kind of person they are if you select it poorly. So therefore, they may not treat your life as it's something to them, your life may be just something that they can step on to get to the next level where they're trying to get to, right? All right, let's move on. What can happen when we select poorly? What are some of the things that happen? It's not the total list, but there's some of the things that can happen when you select poorly. Sexually transmitted diseases, HIV, AIDS, herpes, chlamydia, syphilis, gonorrhea, etc., etc., etc. These are all things that can happen when you sexually select poorly. What I mean by selecting poorly, I mean you don't do a little more investigating on the lifestyle of the person that you are trying to be sexual with. These things can happen, right? These things can happen even if you do investigate, right? Because some people lie, right? Everybody's not going to tell you the truth. Everybody's not going to tell you the true motives all the time. So this is why character is important. Character is going to play a big part in properly selecting, sexually selecting successfully. You're going to have to use character in today's marketplace, because if you don't, you can end up with this condition, and some of these conditions are permanent. Now they got even C19 is out there where, and then now you got the monkeypox. You got all kind of different things that you can come up with just health-wise, doing a poor, sexual select. Unwanted pregnancy. You know how many children are in the foster care system? Just unwanted children. Children that people just did not want. They felt like they had them too early in life, or too late in life, or they're not in a position to take care of the children properly, and the state will come in and take them away. That's why when you sign a birth certificate, that you are telling the state that if anything happens, if the state recognizes that something has happened and this child is not being able to take advantage of, you authorizing the state to be able to come in and take control of that child and take charge of that child and put it in a place where the state thinks they're going to get a better, better raising of the child. Okay, that's what you're doing when you sign a birth certificate. You let the state know there's this child here. If you ever come across this child in a bad situation, I'm authorizing you to take over. That's what the birth certificate is for. All right, so unwanted pregnancies. All these children in the foster care system. What happens with all these children unwanted? What happens with a child that's unwanted? Have you ever felt unwanted? Children that feel unwanted don't usually develop properly, or all the way mentally properly. They may grow up, but unless they have somebody that really jumps in there with them, and that is usually not the case in the foster care system, in the orphanage system. That's not usually the case. Or they just run away. They just abandoned, right? Some of these children are just abandoned, right? And we got an epidemic of this because we having all of this. We're not selecting properly. Sometimes the reason why a lot of you guys don't select properly is because it takes too much time, and you don't want to waste that time. You consider that time being wasted, getting to know a person and seeing what her lifestyle is like and see what her character is like, so that you can decide. Because everything you need to be, if you select with somebody, you need to be at the worst case scenario, you need to be able to co-parent with this person if you do have a baby with them. That's the worst case scenario of unwanted pregnancy is, okay, unexpected pregnancy rather. You weren't expecting it. You did this. You know what is supposed to happen, but you figure, oh, well, I'm going to be able to do this without it happening. Okay. Well, you ring the bell and it happens. Now you got an unexpected pregnancy. If you select properly, you will at least be able to co-parent with a person. You have a person where they're reasonable enough to co-parent with. If not, creates all kind of mess, right? And then you get the foster care system, you get runaways, you get people on the street, you get pole dancers, you get all kind of different stuff that we as fathers don't want to see our daughters involved with. But, you know what I mean? This is what happens when you have lots of unwanted pregnancies, man. On top of the crime skyrocketing, right? Because there's nobody to teach these unwanted children right and wrong and the rules, codes of conduct of order, so that we can live in a peaceful society, right? There's nobody to teach them that stuff, so they just go out there and they just do what they want to do. These abandoned children, the children that run away, get on the streets, foster care system. Foster care is the best Band-Aid we got, but, right? Anyway, what else? Child support. I mean, I know a lot of y'all don't like the child support system, right? I don't want to pay child support because child support is too... But somebody got to pay for this child. Somebody got to pay for this child. Either the woman's going to pay for it, either you going to pay for it, either the both of you going to pay for it, or either the state's going to pay for it. And if the state pay for it, that means I'm paying for it with my taxes, right? I'm paying for it, right? Me and every other taxpayer out there is going to pay for your children. I don't want to pay for your children. I don't think I should have to. If they have a mother and a father, I shouldn't have to pay for it. Now, if something happened where they lost their mother and father, that's a different situation. I don't mind paying for that. But they got able-bodied parents and they got an able-bodied father that just says, I just don't want to pay child support because I don't even like this girl. And I didn't want to have a baby with her. Tough titty, you got to pay for it. I mean, you did it. You know what I'm saying? And you wasn't willing to pay the $3 for the condoms. You got to pay your child support. I mean, I don't even see why that's even an issue of, the only issue should be, it should be fair. It should be a fair amount. It should be fair to the father. It should be fair to whoever's paying the child support. In most cases, it's going to be the father, but it should be fair. It should be a fair amount. It should be a reasonable amount. Does it take $50,000 a month to raise no child? It does not. And if you think it takes $50,000 to raise a child, then you need to move or give the child back to the father. I bet you the father could do it without, spending $50,000, or vice versa, the mother, because, the mother could spend way less to raise a child. Anyway, but hey, man, whenever you have rules and regulations, it's always going to be people that try to get over on them, right? So don't put yourself in a position of child support if you're not ready to have a child, right? And most of you guys out there having sex, you ain't trying to have a child, you're just trying to have sex and move on, right? But you don't sexually select properly, successfully, you're going to end up in this situation here, and it may become outrageous, because that's the problem. Outrageous child support. But we'll get to, I think we'll talk about that later. Visitation conflicts. You want to visit the child, right? You had the child, you want to visit the child, but this person is going to present all types of problems, right? Because they're just not reasonable. See, that's what you got to find out when you trying to select sexually. Is this person reasonable, right? Are you dealing with a reasonable person? No. But most of you guys want a crazy woman because you think a crazy woman is going to be better in the bedroom with you. And crazier women may take more risks. I will admit that, in the bedroom. But they also are going to be more spiteful when and if you decide that you don't want to pursue a relationship with them after you have sex with them. They're going to be way more spiteful, and they may do things like create visitation conflicts. You want to visit the child, and you lost your job, and you ain't able to pay child support. That's a whole different thing from having a job and not wanting to pay your child support. Those are two different things. Some guys just fell on hard times and they can't pay it, but that doesn't mean they shouldn't see their child or children because they can't pay or they're in a bad way right now. That's wrong in my opinion. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. But yes, if you sexually select improperly, you can have visitation conflicts. Child discipline conflicts, right? You have discipline conflicts where you want to discipline a child one way, the mother wants to discipline the child another way, and the mother just does what they want to do. That creates conflicts, right? Conflicts are bad for children's development because when children run across conflicts in discipline, then they're always going to try to make it work for them, especially if they spend a lot of time with the mother and they see that the mother is a manipulator herself. They learn manipulation tactics and they start manipulating the situations for them to get not the best outcome, but the outcome they think they want. You don't hear me. Anyway, child discipline conflicts, that's going to end up conflicts in discipline for children will result in problems in school, problems being able to have friendships. It's going to create problems for them because they don't know. They always be looking to manipulate people instead of bonding with people. They can only bond with like-minded people and other manipulators, right? It's a bad situation, but this is what you're setting your child up for if you don't select properly. Garnish wages. Sometimes they just garnish your wages, right? Say, I don't want to pay child support. I don't want to pay this. I don't want to pay that. And you get mad and you don't go to the court cases or, you just get so pissed off. You just say, forget it. I'm not even going to respond to these people. Let them do what they want to do. Okay, they do what they want to do. And you think, it's just going to go away because they ain't got the right address for me. Okay, don't worry, brother. They'll get the right address for you. They'll find you. Right? I had an aunt, that's all she did was look up people, social security numbers that came into she was a bigwig at the county of LA. And her whole job was to deal with people that was working and still getting county checks. And the people would come into my aunt's office and she would sit down behind the computer. She would be down behind the computer and all she'd ask them is, what's your social security number? They get their social security number and they'd say, I haven't worked in 10 years. I haven't worked in 5 years. She put up their social security. She put up their whole employment history right there. And she had everything right there. She'd say, oh, okay. All right. Thank you very much. We'll get in touch with you. And they take them to court and sue them for it or whatever, right? But, what can she do? You know what I mean? Or put them on a payment plan or whatever, right? But, so people think they're getting over, but they ain't really getting over it. Like you think you just by saying, well, I ain't at this address, that ain't my right address. You sent the mail to the wrong address. They're going to say, so what? We got your job address. You fix it. Man, if there's nothing harder than dealing with than child support and garnished wages. Those two, man, because not a lot of pathways to relieve those things other than just paying it, right? If you pay it, even if you want to reduce child support, it's a very difficult process to do it. It's not like you go in and say, hey, judge, she making a whole bunch of money. She got a Mercedes in the driveway. She got this, she got that. And that's difficult to do. That's difficult to do, right? And most lawyers won't even take that situation. I mean, not unless you got lots of money to burn. Then they know, hey, even if I lose, I'm going to make money. But if you ain't got no money and you're trying to go in there and lower it, good luck, right? Same thing with garnished wages. You try to say, hey, I need to have this lower, so good luck to you. So we don't want to be in these situations. We don't want to have these situations happening, right? This is stuff that can happen when you sexually select poorly. Reduced income. Your income is reduced dramatically, right? Because you got these garnished wages, man. And now, instead of having $1,000 a month left over, you got $300 a month left over. You got to make your life work on $300 a month left over. Right? What are you supposed to do at that point? It's all her fault. Really, it's our fault. You the one that laid down with her. You the one that did that. You did not pick her. You did not pick properly. You picked this woman. This woman you fighting with in court, you picked her. That's why we gotta try to help you at this point. This point when you got total 100% control at this point. Once you start slipping and sliding with this lady, and a baby comes up, or whatever, you don't have no more control. You don't have no more control. Especially if a conception happens where you have a child coming, you have no more control. Just say it. Sexual selection is very important. It's very important. Checking out the character, checking out other things. Very, very important. Your reduced lifestyle. Your reduced income equals a reduced lifestyle, right? Now, how are you supposed to have a social life with, living off of 30% of what you actually had available to live with? You got to pay all your little bills. You got to pay all you got to do everything you're supposed to do with $1,000 with $300 a month. I mean, you're going to have to cut everything, cable, everything, right? Basically. You got to get you an Obama phone. You can't have that nice iPhone that you had no more. Right? I'm telling you, man, this is a bad situation. Bad situation, right? So these are the effects of sexually selecting improperly. Added stress. Oh, that's another thing. Added stress, right? You might even have to move in with family members, right? Now, that's stressful enough. Just having your money, having your pockets being padded all the time. And now you got to move in with your family. Your family is like, either they done with you or you done with them, right? I mean, man, this is a bad situation, man. That's why we gotta think about what we doing, man. We out here selecting. We gotta think about what we doing out here. How can a poor sexual selection ruin our lives? Well, we just talked about how it can affect our lives. Now it can ruin it. Outrageous alimony, right? You can select somebody sexually, marry that person, and then that person decide, because you didn't check her character out, she has an issue that you didn't address or you didn't think was going to be an issue, and now she wants to divorce you because she really she wants more attention than you can give, right? You can't give her all this attention. The attention that she wants, it has to come from many men. Can't come. She's not a type of woman. And a lot of women are like that in today's world. They're not the kind of woman that is satisfied with the attention of one man. They want attention from many men, right? I mean, it's cool if that's what they want, but they should be up front and tell you that, right? But most women won't tell you that up front, right? Especially they see when they look at you, they don't see you. They see a lifestyle that they're looking for, and that's what they see. But to get to that lifestyle, they got to deal with you. So they're constantly going to grind you down into the point where you're going to acquiesce to the way they want to live. And then when they get tired of you, I'm not talking about all women, not all, some women. There's some women out here that think this way, and you got to be the person that investigate their character so you can see if they think this way. And then when they divorce you, right, they will go as far as marrying you. And they're hanging in just long enough so that they can get your benefits, they can get access to your benefits, access to your retirement, access to your resources, your financials, everything, right? But one of the things they can do to ruin your life is get outrageous alimony, right? Because these judges don't care, right? Because who votes these judges in? Women, typically. It's women that both do the most voting. They vote the judges in. Who's going to go against women? Well, let me tell you how it goes in California. California is probably 8-1 women voting on the ballot than men. For these judges, the district attorneys, and all that. Who do you think these judges are going to be more sympathetic to? The people who voted them in, or you and me. Right? Just off the jump. Now I know the court system is supposed to be blind, right? It's supposed to just pass out justice. But in reality, it's not like that. In reality, it's not like that. There's always going to be a little bias. And that little bias is always going to go to women as long as they are the majority voters. Just giving you the math of it. But outrageous alimony can destroy you. You're not Sean Puffy Combs, right? You're not Dr. Dre. You can't give away $200 million and still, have plenty of money in your pocket. You're not Jeff Bezos and give away $30 billion and just be like, oh, well, it's no big deal. You're not Bill Gates. Give away $26 billion. You can't do that. The rest of us, man, we have a hard time giving away $500 a month. That'll kill her. I went to a custody hearing with my son, and it was two Latin fellas. The one Latin fella had came into court. The other Latin fella, I don't think he showed up, but the one Latin fella that was in court, he hadn't paid his alimony because he wasn't working because of C-19. He was a roofer. He wasn't working. He was out of work for like almost a year, right? Man, they tried to get this man, and he was paying like $2,000 a month in alimony. That ain't even child support. That's alimony. That's all he was paying in alimony. $2,000 a month. I think he hadn't paid like almost a year and a half, right? But his interpreter was like, "Hey man, this dude don't have the money. What you want him to do? He just went back to work." They said, "Hey, you put him on a payment plan." So she had to settle for half of the amount and him on a payment plan because he just didn't have it. But still, man, he still had to pay back over $10,000 in back pay plus the current alimony. Man, I mean, and then the other dude, they put a judgment on him, increased it. She wanted to increase it. He wanted to lower it. His lawyer was there. He wasn't there. And they just increased it. So it can happen. It can happen. You know what I mean? It's very difficult for you to show that, this stuff is not necessary, or the dude was trying to say, hey, but I got to give it to him. He didn't come in with a lot of information to try to reduce it. He just wanted to get it forgiven, get the past alimony forgiven. And they said, no, young man, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. So you don't want to get yourself on the alimony train. Outrageous child support. Yeah, man. It does not cost $50,000 to raise a child. $40,000 a month to raise a child. It doesn't cost that. That's very unreasonable, right? But, you know what I mean? You got to do a lot to prove that it's not going to cost, it doesn't cost that much. And then you got to either get your children and get custody or prove that it don't cost that much. I mean, and all of that is a lot of work. It can be done. It's just a lot of work. Half your retirement gone, right? Female can divorce you after 10 years, or not even 10 years. 10 years they can get, I think, mostly half of it. At least in California, they can get half of it. But they can get half your benefits after. They can get almost everything, right? If you're the maximum breadwinner. And out here in California, they do not care. They have what they call a no-fault divorce. We don't care why you got divorced. Oh, he slept with my girlfriend. We don't care. She slept with my cousin. We don't care. Who makes the most money? Where are the kids now? Who makes the most money? Are they with her? Let's just leave it like that. I mean, that's just what they do. Y'all, we make it easy. Now y'all, the men, we make it easy because we don't do things. There's some things, I'm going to make another video, some things we can do to make it rough on the court. The court have to do their job and actually go through a process to see who's the better parent, right? But because we do certain things, me as men do certain things, because we get pissed off, and so the children are already with the mother. The court just says, let's just leave it there. Let's just leave it like it is. Let's just leave it like that. And, you just pay. And let's work out a visitation schedule. Goodbye. Right? Here now you had these children, you love them and you want to be with them, but now they're telling you, hey, you can only be with them at this time, right? But anyway, a lot of your retirement benefits can be dealt with. Half your 401k and other medical benefits, life insurance, all this stuff can be dealt with. They can take half of it. A rebuild of your life after a bitter split. Yeah, man. Most guys come out of a bitter divorce, man. They're like the He-Man Woman Haters Club, right? Manosphere 101. We hate women. Let's just have sex with them and throw them away. Right? So it can be a very mind-altering situation. All right, y'all. That was one of the lessons. I'm ending the lesson right here. I want you to look out for the next lesson in the progression, so that you can get the most out of this training. It says, I don't know everything, but I just know what I know. I've been married for 32 years, got a lot of experience. I made a ton of mistakes in 32 years. If I haven't done it, seen it, heard about it, or helped somebody walk through it, then it just ain't out there, man. So I done been through almost everything as far as relationship wise. So, but thank God I was able to take that information and start transforming my life into a productive situation for myself and for my family. And, it didn't take too long for me to start seeing the error of my ways. But anyway, you don't have to go through all of that. You don't have to get the lumps on your head like I got on my head. You can listen to these lessons and this free course that I'm putting out here, and you can learn how to select better. And you can tell me what some things that could even help. Maybe I could even put it in the course or whatever, right? But anyway, there's a lot of information here to help you sexually select better, so that you don't have to be going through all of the misery that guys that sexually select poorly go through, when they just absolutely destroy their lives by simply selecting the wrong person to have sex with. So anyway, go out there, go out and catch the next video or the next part of the course that's coming after this one, and just get all the information, and hopefully it'll help you, man, and make some better decisions out there in your life. All right, peace.